Okay, so in this video I'm going to explain Purify chance because I see a lot of people playing water type character, and I see that many times you play on PvP you don't get the result that you want in terms of purification, and you say that Purify chance is rigged and you get absolutely insanely upset and you start blaming the game for not operating right. So I'm going to explain a little bit about chance because some people still have high like some people have problem understanding how chance works, and they think that if, for example, you have 33% chance of purifying, that means if you tried 2 times and you failed, the third time is guaranteed to happen. So let me just try to show you. So if you have 33% chance of purifying, you can fail once, fail twice, and then you think that the third time is guaranteed because it's 33%. That means every third time you will purify, and that is not true. Why? Because every time, for example, the turn starts and you have your character, so the purify chance is calculated. Now let's say you actually have 33% chance. Now the program is calculating the chance dynamically, so that means like you have 33% chance, and now there is like a coin flipped in the server. So when you have 33% chance to purify, you also have 66% chance to fail. So that is also a possibility that you need to take care of. Now let's say you got your turn, you have 33% chance to purify and 65% chance to fail. So in this scenario, for example, you failed. Now the next turn arrived. Now it's your turn all over again. Now the 33% chance to purify will not be increased to 40%, for example. The 33% chance will remain 33%. So that means, let's say, for example, in this turn I purified. So now I got first turn that I didn't purify, and the second turn I purified. Now when it comes to the third turn, there is no the chance of purify is not decreasing, for example, to 20%. It always remains 33%. So every time the system calculates your probability of purifying all over again. So in one game you can have like 4 turns or 5 turns that you did not purify, and then like 5 turns of purifying. And if you didn't purify at few turns, it is never guaranteed that in the next turn you will purify. So I have this simulation that I've built, and this guy is its name is Strong. Now he has 30% chance to purify. Now we run tests, so we have like the first 10 tests and the remaining 10,000 tests. So you can see at the first 10 tests he only purified twice. But this guy will complain because he says, wait, I have 30% chance of purify, so why did I purify only twice? Because in the grand scheme of things, eventually if you play 10,000 games, you will purify on average of 30%. But at the first 10 games, it is not always guaranteed that you will purify all over again. So if I refresh the screen, obviously it will run all the tests again. So I refresh the screen. Now it purified 4 times out of 10 games, and eventually purified 3051 times out of 10,000. So this one is a little bit bigger than 30% purify chance. Now if you reload again, you see again 4 purifies out of 10 games, and if you play 10,000 games it would be 3048 purifies. Now if you refresh again, now we got purified only 2 times out of 10. So now he purified less than 30%. Now that makes sense. If you try again, 3 purifies. Try again, 4 purifies. Now it got 5 purifies. Look at that. You may think to yourself, wait, does he have 50% purify chance? And no, this is not true. It does not have 50% purify chance. It is just a lucky coincidence that he got purified 5 times out of 10. But eventually, if you look at the grand number, you will see that, wait a minute, he got purified 3000 times. Now all of those tests are completely random, so nothing is being tweaked. But people do not understand, like, why do they not purify? Or for example, if you are playing with lightning, you do not understand, why don't I have critical chance? Because you need to understand that the chance to get purified, dodge, or whatever is always calculated at the beginning of the turn, and it's always randomly. So at the same chance you got to purify, you always have a chance to fail. So if you got 10% dodge chance to, for example, if you got 10% to dodge, you also have 90% to not dodge. So you can rely on this percentage and say that, wait a minute, I have 90%, that means that 9 out of 10 times I got a hit, because it's not true. So we can continue the tests and see that eventually it will always be around the number 3, but sometimes it could get into funny results. Let me keep on trying. You see, in this game it got 6 purifies out of 10 games, but eventually in the grand scheme of things it purified only 3000 out of 10,000. So eventually purify chance is chance. You have to understand how it works. You can come with math calculations and say, wait a minute, it's not possible for a player to purify 6 times. Now five of those 6 times could be consecutive, so you can purify turn after turn after turn, but this is still possible. And please do not give me this bullshit of math that it's not possible, because eventually if you look at the bigger number you will see that it always rounds up to be 30%.